right now. Eyewitness Sports.
We are down to the NCAA Division III Frozen Four, and the Utica University Pioneers are in the thick of it. The Pioneers knocked off St. Norbert over the weekend 5-3 to earn a second consecutive shot at the title. The action will be held Friday and Sunday at the Nexus Center. In the early game, SUNY Geneseo will take on two-time defending champion Hobart starting at 3 p.m. In the nightcap, Utica will face top-seeded Curry College. The Colonels knocked off Hamilton 4-1 on Saturday, and the Pioneers have won 5 straight against the Colonels, including a 6-2 win at their last meeting back in 2022. Puck drop at the Nexus Center for Utica v. Curry is set for 7 p.m. The winners on Friday will face off against each other on Sunday at 7 p.m. for the national championship. After a tough weekend on the ice, the Utica Comets' magic number is down to near miracle status. The Comets lost in overtime to the Charlotte Checkers Saturday night at home. Now, yesterday, the Comets also traveled to Rochester and lost that game 4-3. Utica surrendering a 2-goal lead in the second period and giving up 4 unanswered goals in that game, the last being an empty netter. The Comets face another tough weekend ahead, 3 games in 3 days, starting in Syracuse Friday night, then home on Saturday against Hershey, before heading back down to Pennsylvania to close out the home-and-home against the Bears on Sunday afternoon. Saturday night at the Adirondack Bank Center starts at 7 p.m. The Comets got some help for the weekend. Dylan Wendt and Josh Philman have been called up from the Adirondack Thunder. Turning to the hardwood, we're down to 16 left in the tournament. All 4 top seeds are still alive, and 3 of the number 4-2 seeds are still playing. Only St. John's gets the rest of this tournament off, so here's what's still ahead. In the Eastern Regional at the Prudential Center in Newark, it starts at 7:09 p.m. with Brigham Young, the 6th seed in the East, taking on number 2 Alabama. The second game in the East pits top seed Duke against number 4 Arizona at 9:39 p.m. Also Thursday night in San Francisco, the top seed in the West, Florida, goes up against number 4 Maryland. That game is scheduled for a 7:39 p.m. start. When that game is done, a little after 10 p.m. on Thursday, 3rd seed Texas Tech will face the surprise of the Sweet 16, 10th seeded Arkansas. We'll close out the week in the Southern and Midwestern regionals. Friday night down in Atlanta, the number 2 team in the South, Michigan State, goes against 6th-seeded Ole Miss. That's set for a tip-off at 7:09 p.m. The second game of the Southern doubleheader pits number 1 Auburn against number 5 seed and my home team, Michigan. In Indianapolis, starting at 7:39 p.m., the number 2 seed Tennessee takes on 3rd-seeded Kentucky. That game will be followed by the top seed Houston against 4th-seeded Purdue. The Midwest region is the only region where the games went as expected based on the tournament seeding. That's all the time we've got for Eyewitness Sports, but coming up next after the break, we have Blake Berman and tonight's News Nation Political Minute.